Good evening, everybody. My big mouth is back on the air. They haven't clipped me yet. All right. We're going to hit the Skype thingy over here. See what's going on. Yes, I want to call everybody on that call. And we'll see who picks up. Lance doesn't appear to be home yet. He told me he'd be just a smidgen late. There's Mr. Vaughn.
Hello.
There's Kim Collier.
Hi.
Howdy. David said he didn't know if he was going to come on, maybe in the second hour if he felt better. We'll see.
Hi.
So, Lance just lit up, so pick up the call, Lance. You probably heard it ringing on your computer. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Well, I'm just going to set this down so that I can do these dishes real quick.
Okie dokie.
So I can put this on mute.
Okie dokie.
We got audio. Test, test, test.
Yep. Got you in there, Vaughn? Okay. All right, so we're rocking and rolling. Pick up the call, Lance. I know you're in the room.
Hi, Vaughn.
Oh, Kim. I had to unmute.
No, it's a free open mic night. You know, we're going to go ahead and let everybody talk when they want to talk and all that good stuff. If you step on each other, you can say excuse me or pardon me or whatever. But, yeah, you don't have to mute up or anything. Not unless I get ready to play a video. If I get ready to play a video, then I'll ask you to go ahead and mute. Because sometimes I got to turn them up a little higher on the audio board. So, shirt. Spring says she wants to see the shirt right off the bat. Okay, I was going to wait until there was a few more people watching so I don't have to show it twice. But, okie dokie. If you want to see the shirt, here's the shirt for tonight. Give you guys a little bit to check it out. Give you a big finger and a big thumbs up and a smile. There's the shirt for tonight. Okie dokie. And then I'll show it later on because I hope some other people show up. There's only like 13 in there watching. All right. So since we're not going to have Dave tonight, it's not going to be full of headlines unless everybody wants to go over stuff. I think I'll pull up my Twitter feed. What do you got, Vaughn, right off the top of your head? What do you want to talk about? What's getting your goat this evening?
The bobbing president.
The bobbing president.
What the hell is that about?
I mean, you know, come on, man. Bush did it. Clinton did it. Barack Obama did it. Everybody, they all do it, man. They all kiss Saudi ass for whatever reason it is. I mean, I told you weeks and weeks ago, everybody, that the House of Saud is just another sect of the Jewish population or whatever, the Zionists. So, you know, I mean, do the math. Do the math. They run shit, right? They run shit. So they don't run big shit, but they run shit. So there you go.
This because where did he go up there? From there, he went to the Wailing Wall.
Yeah.
Now, what the hell is our president wailing on the Roman wall? I mean, he's the devil. He's part of the devil pack.
They all are, man. When you get that high on the totem pole, they all are. I don't give a shit who they are. The senators, congressmen, they're all on the take. They're all corrupt. If they weren't, they'd be standing up and saying something. You know, Trey Gowdy, God bless him, he tries, but he's just another Ron Paul. He's talk, doesn't do a fucking thing. You know, talking don't get you nowhere. You got to have actions behind your words, Gowdy. You had 10 pockets full of fucking venom on Hillary Clinton. You could have had her thrown in prison for the rest of her goddamn life, and you didn't do shit but talk. So, there you go, man. There you go. Same with Jason Chaffetz and all the other motherfuckers that think that they're trying to cause, waves in the cesspool. You ain't going to do shit. You ain't going to do shit. Because if you try to do shit, you'll wind up with one behind your ear. It's just that simple. There's my little mini right off the bat rant.
How many presidents have grabbed that ball there in Saudi Arabia? That's the first time I've ever seen that.
Yeah, that's true. I got to say something about that too. That's the first time I've ever seen the glowing orb of world domination displayed for everybody to see. And that's pretty much what it was. I mean, the one meme that I love is the one where Trump's hair is all fuzzed out like he's grabbing onto one of those electrostatic balls or whatever that make your hair stand up. That one's pretty funny. That meme's pretty funny. But yeah, so let's throw that out to the crowd. Kim, what are your thoughts on the glowing orb? I'm pretty sure you've seen the picture of it. Anybody in the room want to comment on that? Everybody in the room, comment on that, please. Let's see what everybody has to say about the glowing orb.
They're foretelling what's to come.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are too.
So
I gotta see where there it is. Okay, we got the camera set right now. It was a little low.
I've got to plug my phone in.
Uh-oh. Phone's going dead already.
Yep.
All right.
That's for sure.
So yeah, carry on, Vaughn. What's your thoughts on the orb?
Well, here's the thing I can't understand. He stopped in Saudi Arabia to have goat eyes and pigs, but he refused to go to Kim in North Korea to have fried rice and fish heads. I don't understand it.
I don't know about anything about fried rice and fish heads or anything. He's doing the world tour, right? I mean, he just got into office 100 days ago, a little more. So now he's off on his world tour. He's going to go around and shake everybody's hands and kiss everybody's asses and try to, culminate all the NATO operations together for everybody to run around and shoot each other at, and talk about more oil pipelines and what the fuck they're going to do about Bitcoin. Holy crap. The death of the dollar. He's going to try to play it out. He wants to get his little chunk of world domination in, but I don't think it's going to happen, man. These Democrats are so hot on trying to get this fucking cat legally about something that I think they're going to get the job done. QE says the ball is reflected in the Illuminati cards with the president that looks like Trump sitting on the globe. Yeah, he's holding the glass orb in his hand when he's sitting on top of the world. Right, he's holding that glass orb in his hand. So I've seen some videos done about it on some various channels on YouTube. I've read a couple articles written about this whole thing. So we'll see. I'm not going to make any calls because I don't think he's going to make it out of this year without being in front of a jury.
The whole thing.
It's just they're going to find something to pin on him. They're digging and digging and digging and digging, and when you throw enough dirt at the wall, something sticks. So, but this is I got to give Trump some props, man. This is the first time I've ever seen a presidency where everything out of their fucking mouth gets trampled all over by the Democratic Party. It doesn't matter if he sneezes wrong or wipes his nose with the wrong fucking sleeve on his shirt. They're going to jump on him and say, "Oh my God, it's time to impeach the motherfucker. He's got a booger on his collar." Seriously, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. It's to the point of insanity what these Democrats are doing. Now Hillary Clinton's back out on the fucking trail stumping for whatever talking shit about Trump and everything he's trying to do, how he's trying to ruin health care in the United States by getting rid of Obamacare. What the fuck are you? Whatever. So, I don't know. Your thoughts on any of that shit, Vaughn?
Well, yeah, I think that's where the trash come up on Trump about how far in debt he is. I guess from what I'm understanding, he's nearly $1 trillion in debt, or banging that door real close, and that's why everybody pulled his little ass in there for a marker, because he's indebted to everybody. I mean, from the Dutch bank all the way back to any bank he can get money from.
Right. Yeah, and that's the way it's going to go too. It's always going to be about money. You got to follow the trail everywhere it leads to. You got to follow the trail. So that's just the way it's. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Everything that Trump is doing right now, Hillary Clinton would have done the exact same fucking thing, except for the wall. Trying to talk about the wall, right? It would have been open borders, immigration. Come on in, everybody. The water's fine. But that's the only difference. Everything else that Trump said that he was going to say, or said that he was going to do on the campaign trail, he hadn't done a damn thing, not one thing. So,
well, they're pulling another one out there. The deal with the Social Security, the Safety Act on our money that is there for everybody that's paid into it.
Right.
Now they're saying that's all dried up. So I don't know the reality to that, but that's always being played as a card to discredit any president.
Yeah. That's old hat, though. I mean, the song is getting so... But the people that aren't awake just eat it up. You know, the people, the sheeple left in the country, which is 90% of everybody out there, they just keep following the same song and dance. And they're like, you know, when you try to bring it up to them, haven't you heard this shit before about 10 or 15 years ago? Didn't you see all this crap happening? Well, that was then, this is now. Okay, whatever, you know. Learn your history, know your history, or, you know, be doomed to repeat it. Like they
Well,
say.
yeah, it's like that. Like you were saying, the older guy, Ron Paul, the dad.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been saying this forever, and he seems very sincere to me.
But it was just talk when he was on Capitol
Well, I mean,
Hill.
there's only so much he could get done by himself, though. I mean, everybody was against him. The big bankers
Then you got to
were
start.
in.
Well, yeah, but then you got to start. Well, I don't think Ron Paul was ever paid for. I honest to God don't think he was paid for because he did a lot of work
I
on
think
his
so
own.
too.
So you know that's. But he never did anything. He never. You know, you got to start talking about the corruption and exposing people. You know, if he wanted to make a difference up there.
But that's the thing, don't you think? I'm thinking the same thing was going on back then that there is now. I'm sure he was probably scared. There was probably so much he could do without putting his family in direct jeopardy, right?
True, that's true. And that's probably why he gave up the run for the presidency, was because they told him you need to go back to Texas or eat a bullet.
I think you're right, because look at the dead lists. And he's such a nice guy, they probably didn't want to kill him.
He would have shook the tree, man. He would have shook the tree. You know, if he'd have got into presidency, he would have shook the tree.
So many people liked him, it would have become an issue. People would have stood up and said, what the heck? So that's why they probably gave him an option.
Right. But still,
Ron Paul would have been a good military officer to serve under because of his sincerity and the way he approached humanity, you know. But as far as having the president's that kind of strength, no. I'm the kind of guy to make a good president because I just come in with my 45s and I'd be smoking heads. I'm serious. You think I'm shitting you?
But a president can't do that, man.
Anybody that fucked up.
A president can't do that, though. You know, that's the whole thing. You go in there, and within the first hour, you'd be in prison going, "Ah, God damn it, let me out! I'm the president."
Well, little Kim does it. Why couldn't I?
Well, because this isn't a fucking dictatorship. Well, I mean, it kind of is, but it's not supposed to be.
Well, it actually is, but. Right. We like to.
You'd never get in there, though, man. You'd never get in there. You'd never make it. You got to have $100 million to even run for the fucking presidency now. You know, it's not supposed to be, or it's not supposed to be this way, right? It's supposed to be open to every fucking swinging dick. Well, not even the swinging dick, but everybody in the country. I don't think it's ever been open. Well, I don't know. I wasn't back. I wasn't around back 115 years ago, 120 years ago, so I really don't know.
Back then it may have been, not now.
But right, you know. So it's all the big club, right? I mean, you either got to be a governor or a senator or a congressman forever, or what before you can even think about tossing your hat in. They're like, well, he doesn't have the dossier to run for president because he's never been in charge of a huge state or blah 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 blah.
See, and there's another thing though, also, Jimmy. What about those people that are made? Like look at Obama. Nobody had ever even heard of him.
He's a Manchurian candidate. Right, he was a Manchurian candidate. He came out of nowhere like a fucking puff of smoke.
They made him.
So.
He was a Chi-Town hustler out of Chicago. You could tell by that swanky look he had.
Yeah, he wasn't no fucking...
Smoked dope and chasing transvestites.
He wasn't no hustler. Obama's no hustler. That guy's got scabbed knees. He wasn't no hustler. No, he was no hustler. He spoke a good word, but it had to be written for him. The guy couldn't think on his feet for shit. You know, that's why he never had pressers. Yeah, well, that's why he never had pressers. When somebody tossed a question at him he didn't have an answer for, he'd stumble over his fucking tongue. He couldn't speak. He could read. He could read.
You did that very well, Jimmy. Thank you.
Yeah, well, that's the truth, man. I mean, there's all kinds of video out there on YouTube that show him just falling over his fucking words.
I know.
He's not a orator like they used to, you know, hop him up to be. He just reads a script. He's a fucking actor like everyone else.
There was this one lady that did a video where she was just like sitting in her living room and just like openly talking, and she was doing it as a way to bring attention to the fact that this guy is not who they made him out to be or who he says he is. And she was talking about back when he was in high school, and she was part of that little clique. And she said that he always like would bum cigarettes, and as soon as he would get one, he would just walk away. Like he just would like use people. And then also she said that he did a lot of coke. She said she could always tell by the color of his lips when she would see him as a presence. And this video was like back from whatever 2010 maybe. It was an older video of her. You could tell by the clothing and stuff. But she said that she could tell by the color of his lips as to how high he was. She said when his lips had a real dark purple tint to them, he'd been up all night snorting coke. So she said that he was an addict too.
I'll bet he's.
Not
I'll bet she's not a.
not just a gay guy that's married to a beard. The whole thing's a lie. It's really, really creepy.
I don't think she's a beard. I think she's a dude.
Well, that's what a beard is. That's what I found out.
Oh, I thought a beard
Beards-
a beard was a woman that married a gay guy, so the gay guy didn't have to come out of the closet.
No, beards are actually men that portray themselves as women, like transgender, or they're not transgender at all, and they just portray themselves as women. They have to have beards are bought so that they can portray the man part, like Obama, the male part of the thing. They can present themselves in public like as if they're a normal couple. So that's why they buy a beard.
Gotcha.
Anyway, there's not a whole lot of stuff out there about that family before he came into office. Let's put it that way.
Oh no, and that shit's going to be sealed up for another couple of years before anything's going to.
They-
And you'll never, ever, ever see a Barack Hussein Obama presidential library. I doubt it. I highly
Never.
doubt it.
You will never.
Because he's not going to he's not going to open up his transcripts and shit from college or any of that bullshit. He's not. He's just not.
Well, in real
So,
life,
all of his
let's call
fucking-
a shoe a shoe. If
Well,
the
yeah,
New
but his
World Order
entire-
is successful, there's not going to be a need for a presidential library because
This
most of
country's
us will
going
be
down
gone
the shitter.
anyway.
Right. This country's going down the shitter. So yeah. But I don't even remember them breaking ground on one or anything since he's gotten out of office, and that was one of the first things that Clinton did. Boy, I think he still had a couple weeks left in office before when they started building on shit down here. So, chicks with dicks.
Yeah, but with
dudes
the
with
with the
boobs.
presidential library for the Clintons, that's the thing. I was listening to. There was a guy that was on Lionel Nation's little, YouTube video channel.
I gotta be
they
honest
went
with you,
over.
man. I like Lionel, but man, his voice is just grating.
I know, but this
I
was
can't stand
very
listening to him
enlightening. This particular one, they were talking about that Clinton library when it first started. That's how they got that foundation started. The Clinton library was a vital part of getting that foundation started. That's how they got it started.
Oh yeah, all the donations that come in there. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why they did it the way they did
it. The Clinton Global Initiative started after the whole Haiti debacle. When the Haitians all, got stuck into the fucking earth or whatever from the earthquake and whatever. That's where they started piling in their fucking money.
It was sickening.
Yeah, because of I can't remember if it was a Red Cross or some international organization went down there and they got $60 million from the Clinton Foundation, the Clinton Global Initiative, to go down there and try to rehouse these fucking people. $60 million, and I think they built like 9 houses. So where's the rest of the fucking money, man? Because those houses are probably $10,000 a piece, maybe.
No, it's in Qatar.
Yeah, well, whatever. The
It's
Clinton
okay.
Foundation
Listen, Jimmy, there's karma
has a
there because
shipping
they have
company.
voodoo.
There's a shipping
Okay.
company that's based off of the Clinton Global Initiative. They've got ships. They've got container ships. Whatever. One of them supposedly was found with human cargo on it. I'm just
One
saying,
of the things they were talking about for the Haitians, because the Haitians are pissed.
Yeah.
They know exactly who they're angry at. It's not like a big.
No, they want their money.
They're not confused. They know exactly what's been done. These Haitians know how they've been screwed over, and they've been talking about on one of the video clips that I saw. They were talking about putting like a voodoo hex on her ass.
Well, I think there was an excess of $1 billion given to the Haitians after that shit happened from donations.
Well, her
just from-
karma's going to be really bad because if those Haitians are good at their voodoo, she's already got some bad stuff coming above and beyond everything. She's already got it coming for her.
Yeah,
All the
we'll see.
deaths and all the witchery and all that stuff that she's been doing. I couldn't even imagine being her.
She dances
Just
with
you-
the devil, lady. She dances with
Yeah,
the devil.
just shoot.
So-
If she committed suicide tomorrow, she still wouldn't rest. I think she's got pure hell for the rest of eternity for the crime
Well, I'm just
she's
saying that
committed on children,
the
if nothing
Haitian
else.
the Haitian voodoo rituals and stuff, I don't think they ain't got shit on Satan. You know what I mean? I think those minions work for Satan, and this bitch dances with him. So I don't think any.
Well,
of their,
now she's got some.
I don't
now
think
she's
any of their
got some
voodoo
minions
shit's gonna
from
work.
Satan that are angry at her. So let's hope they all turn on each other down there.
Oh, they will eventually in the end. You know, when push comes to shove, they'll all start stabbing each other in the back. They kill each
Right.
other. They kill each other off to stay out of fucking jail. You know what I mean? That's like old hat. So
Yeah, that
All right.
UN. By the way, that UN secretary that got killed, crushed with the barbell on his neck
Yeah.
times 2 or 3.
Right.
He crushed his own throat. He was actually connected to the Clinton Foundation with somebody from China or Japan. So
Yeah.
he goes way back. That guy was directly connected to the Clintons. They had him killed. He was supposed to go into a special session or something like
Right.
that next week before he died. He wasn't just UN. He was connected to them. Some kind of deal they did with some Chinese businessman
right.
that actually went to jail. That Chinese guy went to jail, but that guy ended up dead. He was directly connected to something big.
Oh,
Dead
absolutely.
men don't talk.
That's why Seth Rich got 2 in the back. You know. So, and then there's the whole debacle over his computer and who's got his computer and what's on his computer and blah 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 blah. And now, I think I said it on the last show on Saturday that Kim.com, the big internet guy that started in Mega Upload, and now he's got Mega. He said that he was in direct contact with Seth Rich and knew for a fact that he was the guy that he was talking to named Panda on the internet. And had ties to the WikiLeaks. He's got proof that Seth Rich was the one that set the WikiLeaks documents. Whatever. So we'll see.
They made an example of Seth Rich, to other people. In the future
that's what
that
it was
would
supposed
that
to be.
stupid.
But I think that this is gonna. I mean, if it keeps going the way it's going, I don't know about Rod Wheeler and what he knows from DC police or whatever. I don't know any about all that. The family disavowed all that information. And they told Rod Wheeler to shut his pie hole. So I don't know if what he said was true. And the family's been paid off, and they're trying to get everybody to shut the fuck up, or I don't know what.
Or they're scared.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what shakes out on this one. This might be the snake that turns around and bites them. So
Yeah, I mean, if they're scared, I would think that the bad guys that must be nervous right now, they would think that the family would have the best chance of stopping this Rod guy. Maybe they put the, screws down on the family and said, shut this guy up. And that's
Right.
why they're dealing with it now, because maybe they're all being pressured to be
Right.
quiet.
So Lance, I guess
I
you're
would
not going
hate
to add
that.
into the call unless I add you into the call. So I'm going to go ahead and ring your computer again. I guess you didn't. There he is. Why didn't you just pick up, dude? The call was out when you were online. Didn't you see it on your desktop?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, you just didn't feel like answering until I had to call you back.
No, I don't have a desktop. It was on my phone. Why is there video showing up here?
Because she wants to be on video. I'm
Oh,
on video
okay.
too.
I just want to be able to see the show.
Yeah, she can't. She's doing it on her phone too, so she can't watch the YouTube thing and do the Skype at the same time.
Oh shit! I'm watching you on my phone too. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah. This
All right,
one's,
usually I just see a phone sign in the chat room. Okay, I got it.
this one's live on Skype tonight, but not So anyway,
Well, I
Back
didn't
to
do
what
my
we-
hair today, so I ain't going live on that.
Me either. I look awful. Don't anybody talk about me behind my back.
so let me, since you're just joining us, Lance, let's get some info from you or some input from you on the stuff we're talking about. Right now, we're talking about Seth Rich and the whole trying to take down the Democrats, or the Democrats trying to take themselves down by stepping on their dicks, but them also grabbing at every straw that they can grab at and trying to take down Trump. So let's get your opinion on both those things.
Well, every straw. There's only one straw. Russia.
Oh, come on.
I mean, truly, just watch the TV. There is only one straw. That's the only straw they're grasping at, and they're going to hang on that straw until this special prosecutor comes out and says there's nothing going on. I mean, that's it. I mean, that is the only straw. And it's funny because, you watch Fox
You
and
guys-
they just, they're ridiculing the Democrats and everybody on CNN, MSNBC, and all the other MSM stations about the Russia hype that's just not there. It's just not there. And I would love to see this Seth Richards things come out. But I think this will be one of those things that they'll suppress because nobody will talk about it except us. And we already know that we can't do any good.
I hate that, though.
It's crazy. These people are getting away with fucking murder, man.
You agree, Vaughn?
Yeah, they are.
You think that that's the only thing they're hanging their hat on is the whole Russia connection? Because I got to tell you, right off the top, when the truth comes out about Seth Rich, that's going to make the Russia thing no go, because all the documents came from Seth Rich and not Russia. So that's gonna completely blow that fucking thing out of the water.
I mean, I was watching. What night was the Manchester thing? Monday night.
I guess I don't know. It was some fucking.
I don't. I think it was Monday night, and I happened to have CNN on because I was trying to catch some news that was going on about it. And I mean, they would break away from that story
to talk about
just to throw
Russia.
3 minutes worth of Russia bullshit into a different story. They could not let the Russia. They already had all these guests lined up, and then this Manchester bomb goes off, so they have to all break coverage. I remember back in the day when that's all you'd see for a couple of days when shit like that happened.
Yeah.
They talk about it for 3 minutes and then go back to fucking Russia. I just cannot believe how sheepish
it was completely
these
staged.
people are.
It was completely staged. The Manchester shit was completely staged.
Well, when I first saw the photos, the teenager that had her pant leg ripped off, that just looked fake. That was one photo
has anybody
right there.
ever
She
seen?
had the bandage on, no blood on it.
Has anybody ever seen a picture of a Masonic?
Her pants were totally ripped off.
Has anybody ever seen the picture of a Masonic indoctrination? How they stand there with their one pant leg and the noose around their neck and one tit showing, and it was exactly what she was looking like.
About that.
Her top was ripped to show part of her boob. She had one pant leg on, and there was some fucking crap around her neck. It was exactly what the Masonic indoctrination looks like. So
what blew me away was when the father had his daughter, young daughter, very young, small daughter, and the daughter's legs hung down past his knees. It was like either somebody's photo was really screwed up, or what the hell's that? That's got to be the longest legs on a little bitty girl.
There's a couple other things too. There was somebody live on with a video camera or something. I don't know if it was live or not, but there was somebody out front with a video camera taping as everybody is running out of the exits down the stairs, and there's about 5 or 6 people across the street just standing there looking at shit. Just standing there watching it go on. Then that's number one. Number two, there was a professional photographer like Johnny on the spot taking shots of everything that he could take shots of. It was bullshit, man. It was just complete bullshit.
There was no explosion. There was no explosion.
Well, there was a little bang that guy got on his fucking dash cam, but you couldn't even see the flash from it. It was really, really weak.
Yeah.
There was no way it was a nail bomb that took out 50 people.
Shit,
no way.
No.
Now, a couple other, there were a couple other things when that was coming out that, the guy had an ID on him.
Right.
That's how they come on, really?
Right.
This guy had a fucking ID on him.
I'll blow you up.
Yeah, it's like the passport from 9/11.
Right.
And, right away, within, I would have to say the first hour, lone wolf attack. That's all you heard for the next 12 hours. Lone wolf.
They got a fucking airborne brigade on the streets of London.
Yeah.
Now.
Then the next morning, I hear that they arrested some other guy and everything else.
Family.
I'm like, well, that blows your fucking lone wolf right there.
Yeah, his family.
And
they went and
then
arrested his dad and his
they
sister.
announced the very next day that all the places that the armed police were, Posse Comitatus is taking over England right now.
Right. There was somebody that recorded from inside of Manchester Arena when the whole evacuation was going on, and you could hear the announcer in the background. Number one, it didn't sound like an English guy. It sounded like an American. He didn't have any accent. But number two, he was telling everybody, just slow down. There's no need to panic. There's nothing going on here. This is just an evacuation drill. Everybody just calm down. There's no need to panic. There's nothing going on here. You could hear him say it more than once. So I'm just
I
saying.
didn't hear him
God,
say anything
it's
of that.
it is so insulting.
It is. But the thing that's insulting is that the masses are eating it up. The only thing I heard on Fox News today, the little bit that I watched when my mom was out here watching TV, was that there was going to be terror alerts going off across the fucking planet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
well,
they're hyping
imminent
up fear.
threat.
And if you look, it's the exact same fucking scenario after every little bombing thing or people getting
Yep.
run over by buses or whatever. There's one day where people freak the fuck out. The very next day, they all start bringing teddy bears and candles to where the fucking incident happened. And then after that, everybody's got their shit up on Facebook and it's "We Are Strong." It's the same fucking thing every single time.
well, why would that prime minister? I think it was prime minister say she's not going to run, not going to have an election. What the fuck's that about?
The Theresa May or whatever. I don't. What are you talking about?
Yeah, she called it off. She's not going to have the election because of this Manchester thing.
Yeah, everything's put on hold, right? It's like a hiatus in England.
Well, I mean, the president, they can do that with our election, too.
Yeah,
Well, what's got to do with time
case
of
of,
day?
case of
Who
a
gives a
national
shit?
emergency. They can do it though. That's their privilege, and that's how you know it's all staged, man. You know, she was getting ready to get her ass canned, and so we've got to keep her in office for
Oh.
another 6 months.
Absolutely.
We have more people killed in Chicago, Illinois, every day,
On a
every
weekend.
weekend.
Yeah,
than
on
those
a
got over
weekend.
there, and you think they called anything off over here? Hell
No.
no. British, get over yourself.
Nope. Did everything in the United States go on lockdown when the jackass rode over people in Times Square a couple days back? Nope. They just fucking towed the car away, arrested the dude, got the injured swept up, and the fucking blood all washed away, and went about their day. It don't matter
Yeah,
if it
but-
happens over here, man.
They
That
had
was a
they
stage
had
event, too.
they had already planned to do something about those intersections, so they had to have
Right.
that incident staged so they could get the money to take care of those intersections that they wanted to fix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark said it.
Sounds
Mark
right,
said it right
Vaughn.
there. Mark said it right there in the room. Too many fools run their lives on emotion and forget rationality. They forget all their rational thought. They just run on emotions. They're like, "Oh my God, there was kids involved." They had to get that right out off the bat. You know, there's possibility that there was children, right? You know, when people were still tweeting about the incident and nobody knew any facts about anything, right? They were saying there's possibly children.
Well, you notice the ragheads, all the taxi cab drivers, picked up the kids and took them to the hospital, wherever they wanted to go, for free.
Yep.
You know, hey, you guys keep the freaking ragheads. I don't want the sumbitches here. You can kiss their ass, you can love up to them, you can hug them like our president did, which I'd love to put a boot in his fucking ass. And just keep them the fuck out of here.
So, not to get off what you're saying, Vaughn, but Jimmy, when you were just talking right before Vaughn, and you were just talking about how everybody reacts, I don't believe in all this stuff.
That's
I've
exactly.
listened to it with an open mind. I'm not in agreement or like-minded in everything David Icke says, but I do really take a lot of interest in that particular phrase he came up with, where you cause the problem and then the
It's the Hegelian.
masses
It's the
react and
yes.
then they provide the solution. That's
It's called
exactly
the
what you were
Hegelian
just saying.
dialectic. Yeah, David Icke didn't come up with that. He just knows about it. He's educated on it. It's called the Hegelian dialectic. It's problem,
Oh yeah. That's what it is.
problem, reaction, solution. Yep.
Right.
That's the way it's been
That's what
run
they
since the
use
beginning
all
of
the
time.
time. They use the media.
Yep.
And by the way, I was listening to one of those little shows I listened to today, and they were talking. First, they were kind of giving the media a pass, and then the one guy was telling you about Greg Hunter. He said, I think he was the one that said, no, they're not complicit. They're conspiratorial or something like that. He wouldn't even give them that they were complicit. He said that no, they are guilty. They are purposely doing this.
Yeah, or
I
just
like
turning
that
their
he
head the
calls
other way.
them out like that. He's got a lot of courage.
Well, and he asked him too. You know, he talked to. I watched one of his programs one time, and he was talking straight to the elite. You know, he was like,
Yes.
"You people have children. You have grandchildren.
He's a
What
good
are
man.
you leaving for them? You know, what kind of world are you going to leave for them?"
Exactly.
So yeah, but
So,
he's
yeah, I'm
he's
proud
trying
of
to he's
him.
trying to talk humanity into people that don't have any left. and that's a
True.
futile effort.
Well, these people were raised by people that were not, you didn't even consider themselves human anyway. They're like
Yep.
devil worshippers.
Yep.
They were raised by Satanists. I mean, look what they were raised by. These people that are now like in their 60s and 70s, the children of David Rockefeller and stuff, they were raised like that.
Yep.
They're not even like us. They
Well,
don't
see,
think
that's the
like
way
us.
the Rothschild and all them Zionists are. They just look at us like peons. And if we're having a good day, they got to find some way to throw a hailstone into it and upset everything so they can get on about their way. They just get back in the back room and chuckle at us. Say,
Bond, we're not looked at as peons, Bond. We're looked at as farm animals. We're less than peons. We're nothing more than livestock. That's the way they look at us. That's what I think.
I think you're right, Kim. What say you, Lance?
Lance.
Exactly the same.
Well, thanks for that colorful commentary.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even add to it. I mean, it's
Okay, so
I
what's
agree.
on the top of your radar, Lance?
the Venezuela thing. I was trying to read about that earlier. It looks like that place is total fucking breakdown right now.
Yeah.
It's been in that for months. But
Yeah.
it's worse
Well,
now.
So-
especially today. I mean, they evacuated everything today in the parliament or whatever it was.
There's shit going down in Brazil too. One of the top headlines on RT right now is the shit going on in Brazil. There's having
I think, yeah.
Okay.
It was Brazil. That's where it was. I saw the headlines pop up, and then I just got sidetracked, and I haven't been able to follow it.
yeah. Well, here's one thing here. Oh, this is the headline from RT right now. Troops deployed, ministries evacuated as violent protesters smash government buildings in Brazil. And they got a video to go along with this. If you guys want to see me play it, then let me know in the room. I'm going to start reading the article. Brazilian government ministries, let you guys watch the chat room and let me know if they want to see the video. Brazilian government ministries have been evacuated amid massive protests in the country's capital of Brasilia. Demonstrators reportedly attacked and even plundered some of the ministry buildings. Police responded with tear gas and stun grenades. Some 35,000 people have taken to the streets of Brasilia to express their discontent with the current Brazilian leadership and to demand early presidential elections, as reported by Globo. Protesters are marching to the presidential palace to demand an end to the austerity reforms, AFP reports, with chants of "out with Temer" filling the air. Police stopped their advance by using tear gas, but the protesters retaliated by throwing stones at the officials. 4 people were detained by police, Brazil's Globo broadcaster reports, citing a police statement that also said 3 of the arrested had drugs on them and another melee weapon. One protester allegedly suffered a gunshot wound. Organizers said, however, there has been no official confirmation of that. 6 officers have been injured in the clashes. Police said later that Brazilian medical authorities say a large number of demonstrators were also injured during the protests without providing exact figures. Local hospitals have urged people to donate blood for the injured. Protesters have occupied the ministry's Esplanade, I guess that's how it's pronounced, which is surrounded by the ministerial buildings. The protesters reportedly set the agricultural ministry building on fire and smashed windows at several other ministerial buildings, Brazilian media reports. The affected ministries have been evacuated. The protesters are erecting barricades on the streets using sofas, chairs, and tables from nearby buildings and are burning litter. The demonstrators burnt public bicycles and plundered the Ministry of Planning, according to some reports. The demonstrators also did some damage to the Brasilia Metropolitan Cathedral and Museum of the Republic. Military police of Brasilia were deployed to disperse demonstrators. Anybody want to see the video?
Sure. Isn't that the place that they have the RoboCop uniforms? Didn't they get all those for the Olympics?
I think it was either Brazil or Venezuela one. Yeah, I think it was.
I
Brazil.
thought it was Brazil. Yeah.
Yep. The big.
I'm
the
all
black
for
mask.
any place that's going to do the right thing. Now, but who's backing them up? Who's giving them the money? Is it Russia or who's behind this big coup?
That I do not know.
So,
Usually,
Jimmy, after you do your video, I have a story from Denmark that I would like to share. It's not long.
okay. yeah, Vaughn, I do not know who would be in charge of the coup in Brazil, but I'm sure that we got something to do with it. You know, the CIA's entire mantra
Sure.
is to go all over the planet and create discontent.
Havoc.
Yes.
Well, see, that's what I was afraid of because there we go, right back to the Rothschilds. You know, they can't keep their fucking nose out of everything.
Yeah, there is that. But that's to be expected. They're
Yeah, but don't they know payback's a mother one of these days? Payback's
Wow, 35,000 people were there.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
That's hard to control.
Yep. Okay, here we go with the video. You guys hush.
Acontecendo confronto na esplanada, os manifestantes correndo, a polícia avançando. Tudo começou a partir de derrubadas de gradis, bem em frente à esplanada do Ministério, bem em frente à rua da...
Anybody speak Spanish?
Nesse momento, os manifestantes recuam dos policiais, os policiais avançam, principalmente com a cavalaria da Polícia Militar. Clima muito tenso no momento aqui na esplanada dos Ministérios.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. Looked pretty ugly. Let's see what else I got here. I think I got another one.
So I can't see that video from the phone. I gotta be watching it on the
Yeah.
computer.
Yeah. You
Okay,
only
got
get.
it.
You only
It
get
was a nice
distraction.
day, Lance. Got nice fluffy clouds, a nice.
I know. Look at that.
People getting their
Got
heads.
chemtrails in the air. Those are all nice fluffy clouds.
People getting their heads busted with the batons and stuff. Yeah, it was great.
I got cops out there on horses too.
Here's another one. This is going to be somebody from an office building, Overwatch style. Yeah, so the audio back in the background on the video, that's not really helpful at all. So, but this is an hour-long video here. I guess this is pre-evacuation because it looks like they're in one of the buildings that was getting evacuated. So we'll go ahead and let that one go. Yeah, you guys get the idea. All right, comments from everybody?
I'll tell you that you know the strange thing about an incident like that is as long as it turns out that it's good for the people. But if a handful, like you said, there's probably about 35,000 people there, it'd be a hard handful. But if they're not really doing the right thing for the rest of the people, what the hell are they going to do? You know, they're going to have to go to Venezuela to get their damn Russian bread.
Well, you know, it's everybody wants freedom, right? Once they got the freedom and the government doesn't have their boot on their neck, then, you know, they can make their own stuff like we're supposed to do. That's all I can see. I mean, everybody on the planet, you know, whether or not they're awake to the paradigm that's going on, they're all tired of government corruption. And the government's all over the world stealing our money from us. So I think that's pretty much the way it's going out.
Well said, Jim. That's what I like to hear. But that's exactly what's going down
Yeah,
there.
but you know, regardless of whether or not they're awake,
city near you.
right. Here's a couple other headlines that's going across RT. UK police make a 7th arrest and seize a suspicious package in widening Manchester bombing probe.
No, I mean it's a lone wolf. I mean they
Yeah.
were out there within an hour of that story. It was a total lone wolf.
Well, yeah, but first they come out and said he was
Bullshit.
ISIS related, right? That ISIS took responsibility for it, and then they said, "Oh no, wait a minute, he wasn't ISIS; he was Al Qaeda." That's the truth. That's the truth. That's exactly what happened. The first reports was that he was ISIS. You know, he was ISIS took responsibility for the attack that happened in Manchester. Blah 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 blah, and they're calling it a terrorist incident. And then later on, or earlier today, or late yesterday, they came out and said, "Oh no, it wasn't ISIS. No, he was Al Qaeda related because we can follow his tracks over to Yemen or whatever. Fuck, I don't know. Whatever.
Libya.
It's
It's potato, ISIS, and to the normal layperson, ISIS, Al Qaeda, you name it, they're one and the same.
They forgot Mossad. They forgot CIA. They forgot, whatever. Anyway, All right. What's
I
next?
have something.
Go ahead. Yeah, you had the story that you wanted. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this is from Denmark. It says a 17-year-old girl managed to escape being raped by fighting off her attackers as he ripped off her clothing. Now, police
guess,
say
he was a
she will
refugee.
be charged with a crime for defending herself.
Let me guess. He was a refugee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
The
go ahead.
teenager was attacked around 10 p.m. by a man described as a dark-skinned in central Sonderborg, Denmark. She told police her attacker struck her through, and they hit those women really hard, by the way, threw her to the ground and began forcibly removing her clothes. Using a canister of pepper spray, the 17-year-old was able to fight him off and escape the attack. Now that tool of self-defense is going to leave her as the only person charged with a crime in the incident. It is illegal to possess, use pepper spray, so she will likely be charged for that. Local police spokesman Nud Kirsten said. Users of social media websites expressed their outrage over the incident. Irony being what it is, the girl only began carrying pepper spray because the local police have failed to curtail a wave of sexual attacks by asylum seekers and refugees. So,
Yeah.
there you go.
I don't think that the public is going to let that fly. I just don't think. It's not the United States that this happened in, right? This is another country, and I'm pretty sure that judge and the prosecutor are going to get their asses handed to them by the public. I don't think.
so.
I don't think this is going. We'll see. I hope there's a link that we can keep up with that story.
All these kids are. Everybody's so scared over there.
Yeah, Austria's become a pit of rape and fucking yeah. So that's the way it's going. Germany's the same way. The Netherlands is the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Your thoughts on that one, Lance? What if that was your daughter, dude? What would you do?
Well, I mean, I can't even believe the story. It sounds like an Onion story.
Yeah, almost does, doesn't it?
I mean, I can't even believe the story.
But it is.
Well, in Germany, they're not allowed to even wear short shorts or anything. They're not allowed to do anything. Like, they're being told how not to get raped. So, I watched a video from a young German girl that went out on the internet, and it went viral back last year, like, I don't know, February or March of last year. And she was a beautiful girl. Her hair was really long, just beautiful German girl. It was like a brown color. And she was talking in German and to her own camera and then I guess uploaded it to YouTube. She got kicked off Facebook because of this video. But she was scared. She was sitting there talking into the camera very adamantly and sincerely and saying, I'm scared here. When I walk to the store, these people are coming up to me, and you could tell she's sincere. She's scared, and no one can do anything.
No.
She was asking for help.
Nobody will do anything. They can do all kinds of things, but they won't do anything. They won't do anything.
Yeah,
it's all
girl.
a culture shock thing that they've got going on right now, and the Muslims.
That's against their values.
Yeah, the Muslims are going to run rampant over Eastern Europe. They already have run rampant over Eastern Europe, like you just said a minute ago. They're actually changing the way they live on a daily basis because of this outside culture that has come into their country and taken over.
There's some people like you guys out there, though. I saw some guys on the internet from Germany where they were putting out videos just kind of like what we're doing right this minute.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, the media doesn't do it.
They were normal people in Germany, and these guys were angry. They were German men.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think
they had their weapons, and they were pissed, and they were talking about how they weren't going to let these, they were very, very, upset.
Yeah. Vaughn,
and protective, very protective.
Vaughn, I'd ask you your opinion on this whole subject, but we only got an hour left, so.
I did a video on this, and I told the men out there, if you continue to let things go, it'll be up to the women to get the guns and take care of business because they're not going to be raped.
But look what they've done.
They will blow them away here.
But look what they've done to the. Well, I don't know about all that. I mean, there's millions that wouldn't let it happen, but there's a lot of them that would. That'll just stand by and whip out their iPhone and start recording. You know,
Yeah, for
they
sure.
have bitchified the human. You know, the human male population with all the additives in the food and the fucking. You know, just everything you see on TV. It's turning men into half fags. Look at some of the videos out there of these kids that they're walking through old abandoned buildings and shit, and a rat jumps out and they just scream like a bitch and run out of them. You know, come on, that didn't fucking happen when we were kids. You know, boys still had testosterone when we were kids. They don't got it anymore. They dress like girls.
Right.
They you know, they talk like faggots. They they can't even change their own tire on their fucking car.
There's a video out there that's asking you, do you feel tired? Do you feel like you don't have the energy you used to have? Well, hell yes, you don't, because of what they're spraying, feeding, and what you're drinking.
Right.
And
There's
eating.
all the
what they've
bisphenol
done.
A and the fucking in the plastics and shit, and you cooking it into your food when you throw it in the microwave and giving, you know, guys got tits by the time they're fucking 20. I'm just, it's the truth, man. I'm just saying it's the truth. If you see a guy out there that's all fit and buff and got a six pack and shit, unless he's working his ass off 7 days a fucking week trying to feed his family, he's probably half a faggot, and you know, whatever. Go ahead.
He's a paid model.
Exactly. How do you think the guys at Chippendales don't walk around with a heart on all the time? Because they're all gay.
Unless the photographer bends over and he's male.
Right. But I'm just saying, you know, you got women rubbing on you all night long at these fucking strip-a-thons they got, these Chippendale strip. It's because they're fags, man. They're all fags. That's why they don't get a hard on when you go rubbing on them and shit. Anyway, go ahead.
If I had a bunch of drunk,
How the fuck did we get down this
women
rabbit hole?
rubbing on me, I don't think that would make me get a hard on if I were a guy. I'm just saying.
How do we get down this rabbit hole anyway, man? Let's get
I
back to
don't
the
know.
fucking
That's
headlines.
icky.
Yeah, let's get down to
I'm just saying.
whatever.
Well, let me drag you out of it. How about the West Coast? The 101 is closed down because of half
Oh,
the mountains
yeah.
over it.
In Big Sur,
Wait.
there's like a half a mile of fucking road underneath the 1,000 tons of rock or some fucking bullshit right there in Big Sur.
Really? I've
Yeah.
been there quite a few times.
The California 101 right there on the coastline. A big slide of rock. A big slide of rock went off there. They said it's probably going to
Wow.
be 6 months before they get it cleared up and the road rebuilt.
Well,
Yeah, there was
nobody
a
got
lady-
crushed, did they?
I don't think so. I guess they'll find out when they start moving all the rock.
But there was a lady who said the last time something similar to that happened, they were locked in for 6 months.
Yeah.
So can you imagine? You can't go nowhere for 6 freaking months. You can't get nothing. You better hope you got it.
You better hope you were prepping.
Yep. I don't know too many roads that only go that you can't get out on 101 only going north or whatever, but yeah. I don't know. We'll see. It's a big piece of rock that slid off there into the Pacific Ocean. Makes you wonder if it's going to keep happening up and down the coastline because it all looks like it's weathered about the same right now.
Yeah.
I think Johnny Carson lost 5 houses in his lifetime because he kept building on the coast. You know, he'd build one about.
I love Johnny Carson.
He'd lose one to the surf, you know, eating away at the shoreline, and then he'd build another one about 100 yards back, and then in 5 or 6 years he'd lose that one, and then he'd build another one 100 yards back. Yeah, I think by the time it was all said and done, he lost over a half a mile of ground, got eaten away on the property that he owned. That's a big chunk of ground, man. 3,000 feet.
It is.
So, all right. Let's see what else have we got on it. Trump not welcome. Thousands protest U.S. presidential visit ahead of the NATO summit in Brussels. You guys all heard about that? They don't like this fucking orange sumbitch.
Well, he's got to stop putting that shit on his face down there in Florida.
Right. Thousands of people took to the streets of Brussels Wednesday to protest Donald Trump's policies as the U.S. president landed in the Belgian capital for his first NATO summit. This is the Trump tour, the Trump World Tour, right? First edition. The Trump Not Welcome March was authorized by the city's authorities, attracted 6,000 people, and went off without incident, police said. The action took place some 4 kilometers from the presidential palace, where Trump held meetings with Belgium's King Philippe and Prime Minister Charles Michel, or Michael, or whatever the fuck his name is. Trump, who was given a Belgian chocolate as a gift, told Mike, was it poisoned? Did he get the royal food taster to check it out first? Told Michael that there was different problems to discuss, but number one is terrorism. We are in a terrible situation, but we will win. Are you winning yet, Donald? The Brussels rally was initiated by a student organization which said on its website that Trump caused outrage all over the world, dividing and excluding people, denying climate change. Sorry about that. And intimidating the media, phasing out solidarity. Again, I say. But anyway, I digress. The initiative, however, was supported by various civil groups and organizations, including Doctors of the World, Amnesty International, Greenpeace, Friends of the Earth, Oxfam International, and others. This explained the variety of slogans on display during the event, including Trump Go Home, Stop Trump, Save the Planet, No NATO, No War, No Ban, No Wall, Refugees In, Trump Out, and many similar messages. Boy, you guys are just stellar. Huge effigies of Trump and Michael were also on display during the march, with the Belgian Prime Minister portrayed as a puppet of the U.S. president. Belgians also recalled that during his campaign for the White House, Trump said that Brussels was like living in a hellhole due to several terror attacks in the city. Several signs in the Belgian capital on Wednesday read, "Trump says Brussels is a hellhole. Brussels says Trump is an asshole." That's kind of quirky cute. According to TASS, the march was also joined by the Kurds, who failed to get permission to stage their own rally against the arrival of Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan to the NATO summit. The Brussels authorities...
Good.
Yeah, no shit. The Brussels authorities also denied a public gathering in support of the Turkish leader. President Trump's first international tour, which includes stops in Saudi Arabia, Israel, Palestine, and the Vatican, has been marred by several protests. You notice that they called it a tour. I told you, it's all bullshit.
Well, he's an actor. He's on tour.
Yeah. Palestinians protested on Monday and Tuesday as they clashed with Israeli forces, resulting in a dozen people being injured by rubber bullets and reported live fire. Because Mossad's bitches. So's the idea. Okay. In Gaza, an effigy of Trump was held up at gunpoint after the U.S. president labeled local Hamas groups a terrorist organization. Over 100 people also staged a rally not far from the U.S. Embassy in Rome ahead of the U.S. president's meeting with Pope Frank. Trump is scheduled to attend a summit with 28 leaders of the NATO military alliance, which once described as obsolete, but has since changed its stance. Trump is expected to press NATO to join the fight against the Islamic State during the gathering, which will also see the opening of the bloc's new billion-dollar headquarters, according to European and U.S. diplomats, cited by Western media. Isn't that special? $1 billion. Okay.
Well, that's pretty special. Remember that movie that had Mini-Me in it?
Yes.
And it had that big old fella, the redheaded fellow,
Yes.
kept saying, "Get in my belly." Well, that's Trump. Get in my belly.
Yeah.
That's Trump. That is a good portrayal of Trump.
Yep. Anybody else's thoughts on that whole Tour de Trump? Lance? Kim?
Well, I noticed when they landed in Saudi Arabia, too, right before they landed, there was a car that was trying to run pedestrians or trying to break a roadblock or something, too. So, I mean, his whole trip has been marred with protest. Can't blame him. He's a douche.
Yeah, nobody likes the orange fool.
Yeah, I mean, you can't blame him. I mean, everybody over there hates us, and it's not his fault that they hate us. They've hated us long before Trump came along.
Yep. Kim?
Oh, so I have a story. It's going to be really, really quick, though, like lightning speed.
Oh, you want to comment on any of the Tour de Trump or no?
Oh, well, I kind of agree with what you guys said, so I don't know that I have anything to add.
Okie dokie. Go ahead with your story.
Okay. So this one is Wikipedia Foundation to move forward with lawsuit against NSA surveillance. So a judge has decided Wikipedia has grounds to sue the NSA. Thank you, Skylar.
Wow.
So I thought that was great.
A
Do
judge
you like
gave him
that?
the thumbs up. That is fucking shocking.
I thought you would like that. That's from vote.co.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, the grand jury overruled that one.
You think so? If it makes it to the grand jury, I mean, if it stays local or regional, it might not make it to the grand jury.
Well, this says a federal appeals court has ruled the Wikimedia. Oh, it says Wikimedia, Media.
Yeah. That's
So
part of the wiki.
Wikimedia Foundation.
That's the wiki organization. Yeah, that's
Okay.
Assange's parent group or whatever.
Right. So it says has grounds to sue the NSA after a district judge ruled against Wikimedia's case back in 2015. The judge then said the group was unable to prove the NSA was actually illegally spying on its communications. Since information is about upstream, NSA's targeted surveillance system is classified, it's tough to bring the details to the judge required. Now, however, the judge believes Wikimedia Foundation brought enough evidence to the table specifically that the agency was monitoring its communications. So, to put it simply, Wikimedia has plausibly alleged that its communications travel all of the roads that a communication can take, and that the NSA seizes all the communications along at least one of those roads. Thus, at least at this stage of the litigation, Wikimedia has standing to sue for a violation of the Fourth Amendment. That's what this judge said. Oh my goodness. Hey, Charlie, you're kind of creepy looking.
What?
He
No,
just
that's
had his
Lance.
eyeball in the mirror.
That's Lance. It's not
That's-
Charlie.
That's Lance.
Oh.
The last one was
Oh my God! Look at your fucking beard, dude. Damn.
You like that? You like that?
Yeah.
Like that?
I thought you had it all shaved off for work, so you could be kind of up to snuff with the peeps.
Yeah, but you missed it, Jimmy. You were looking down. All you could see was like his eyeball in there.
No, I saw
I
it.
looked up
I saw it.
from reading, and I saw this eyeball.
Yeah, man. I'm going full Duck Dynasty.
Oh, right on, man.
So,
Let
yeah,
her-
so I
let her
thought that was
grow.
a good story.
Let your hair grow too, man. You can be the mountain man of the housing industry.
Lance had the all seeing eye up there for a moment. The all seeing eye.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have to put this on mute because my kids brought me some food, and I
Okay.
don't want to be rude.
All right. Munch away. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Let me do everything. Question everything. Said the Saudis are beating the crap out of Yemen with UK weapons. Trump and Saudis shaking hands. Will someone please raise the red flag? We're in those weapons things, those weapon sales to the tune of $300 billion, man, $330 billion, right? So it's not just UK weapons that are over there kicking Yemeni butt. We've got special forces on the ground over there doing the same fucking thing, walking around in villages, assassinating civilians and shit. So we're neck deep in that as well. It's not just the UK and Saudi Arabia. As a matter of fact, all the F-18s and stuff that they're flying over there used to be ours. So yeah, I don't think there's a tornado on the Saudi Air Force at all. They're all U.S. weapons systems. So yeah, we're neck deep in that one too, QE. Anyway, all right. Jeannie wanted a different story. Anywho, so let's jump down here. Voice of America: truckloads of U.S. arms reached the Kurdish militia. 8 guards and 7 inmates hospitalized after California's Supermax prison riot required lethal force. Let's dive into this for just a hot second. This is the first I'm seeing of this one. Wow, that's a big fucking prison. Officers opened fire on a group of inmates after a major riot broke out at a maximum security prison in California. 8 staff members and 7 inmates were sent to the hospital with significant injuries. Officials are investigating the incident, which resulted in 15 people being sent to hospital after violence broke out at Pelican Bay in Crescent City, California. According to a press release from the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. The incident began at 10:25 a.m. when guards tried to break up a fight between 2 inmates. The officers used chemical agents and batons to subdue the fighting inmates. Vicki Waters, press secretary for the CDCR, said. As staff continued, this is a quote now, as staff continued to try to subdue 2 inmates, a large group of inmates from various areas of the yard ran toward the incident. Waters continued, the officers were overwhelmed as the inmates started attacking them. In response, officers stationed in armed posts used lethal force on the inmates. The officers fired a total of 22 shots, mostly from Mini-14 rifles in order to stop the brawl. 2 weapons made by inmates were recovered from the scene. However, the CDCR says it doesn't appear that it was used during the fracas. 8 staff members were hospitalized with injuries from the attack. 6 were released within hours, while 2 remain hospitalized with significant but non-life-threatening injuries. They are expected to be released soon. 7 inmates were also hospitalized for their injuries. 5 were treated for gunshot wounds. The CDCR did not provide any further information of their conditions. Convenient. Pelican Bay has limited inmate movement throughout the entire prison and rehoused 97 inmates in the administrative segregation unit while the investigation is conducted. The Office of Inspector General was notified about the incident, and deadly force investigation team from the Corrections Department has been sent to the prison to conduct the criminal and administrative investigation into the use of deadly force. So they're investigating themselves. That should turn out splendidly.
Fox in charge of the hen house.
Yep. The peer support program also activated to ensure staff members have access to resources to help them cope with traumatic events. Pelican Bay State Prison, located 13 miles from Oregon, is California's only Supermax state prison. The facility sits on 275 acres and currently houses approximately 2,000 inmates, including many of the state's most serious criminal offenders. So there's that.
Oh, I have something that's just going to make everybody's heart warm.
Okay, go for it.
I'm going to make it even shorter. I don't want to read the whole thing. I'm just going to give the general gist of it, and then you can move on with it.
Okie dokie.
New York.
No, Mini-14s, hang on a second. Mini-14s, Mark, are .308 caliber. Well, I guess some of them are chambered in .556, but I think most of them are .308s. But we'll see how many of these inmates die, right? If they're low velocity or hypervelocity. Be right back. There's Mama.
Well, wouldn't Charles Manson be there, Lance, in that particular prison? Ain't that where they're housing Charles Manson?
I
The
thought he
Pelican
died.
Bay one.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure. It seems like that's where they got him.
Hey, Lance.
Mhm.
Didn't he die?
I thought he did.
I thought so too.
But
Dude.
I will say this, honestly. I see people every once in a while, and I'll see them on the screen, and I'll go, I thought that son bitch was dead for years.
Yeah.
Charles
That-
That
Manson.
happens all the time.
That's true. I've done that myself.
Charles Manson will live forever. That's a devil.
He is. Yeah, he definitely is.
He actually did not do the crime, but they're scared to let him out because of how he influences people.
Right, yeah, because it was all other people that did it.
He never got out.
Said it before, say it again. There ain't no profit in healthy people. There ain't no profit in peace. And there's no profit in people that obey the law. I mean, there's no profit in any of that.
That's
Well, that's
true.
why you got to be careful. That's why they got to be careful shooting all those people in prison, man. That's money.
Yeah, they get serious money banged for
So
that
it's like
every day.
such a hypocritical world. If you think about it, what a hypocritical world it is. Because they want you to do everything right, and God forbid you don't turn your blinker on because you're going to get a big ticket, and then that's going to affect your, insurance premium or whatever. I'm just saying that's how they expect you to be, but really, like you just said, there's no profit in people being good, so they don't really want you to be good.
No, I mean, there's no profit in being healthy. That's why they're keeping cannabis away from everybody. I mean, we've known that for, 3 decades at least?
Yeah.
That there's much more health benefit to not so much smoking, but like I've said it
Yeah,
before.
for people that have illness and stuff.
Well, the oil
Anxiety.
helps you.
And anxiety, too.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps me from killing people.
That's good, Vance. Okay, listen, guys. I'm sure Jimmy would want us to move along and read while he's
Yeah, if you got something else, go ahead.
Yeah, this is going to kind of short. It's called Robots Could Wipe Out Another 6 Million Retail Jobs. So let me just move up with my mouse. Okay, so it says, New York, robots have already cost millions of factory jobs across the nation. Next up could be jobs at your local stores. Between 6 million to 7.5 million existing jobs are at risk of being replaced over the course of the next 10 years by some form of automation, according to a new study this week from by financial service firm Cornerstone Capital Group. That represents at least 38% of the current retail workforce. 38% of the current work. That's a lot. So anyway, which consists of 16 million workers. So retail could actually lose a greater proportion of jobs to automation than manufacturing has, according to the study. That doesn't mean that robots will be roving the aisles of your local department store chatting with customers. Instead, expect to see more automated checkout lines instead of cashiers. I hate that. This shift alone will likely eliminate millions of jobs. Cashiers are considered one of the most easily automatable jobs in the economy. And this job losses will hit women particularly hard, since about 73% of cashiers are women. So there's your single moms that have the lower paying cashier jobs gone. That's yet another, it's like having the knees or the legs cut out from someone. You know.
Well, the internet itself is waylaying all the big chain stores because everybody's ordering
I
stuff.
agree.
So anybody that's in transport, that's why the post office picked up a 7-day run. They even deliver on Sunday for Amazon because of the big demand of the internet. I mean, why not sit at home and order anything you want, and it gets delivered to your door? I mean, that's the society they want. They do not want you to go out there and talk to each other. Heaven forbid, you guys might get something going. You might get a brainstorm to do something.
I know. And
hey, to be fair, have you seen some of the people that work in these places? I would much rather deal with a machine. A machine ain't got a fucking attitude. It's not going to fuck your order up.
That's right.
I know, but we're talking on the big scheme of things, Lance.
Well, the big scheme of things is, they talk about all the jobs going away and everything else. Yeah. And all those jobs we lost, they're never coming back. And they're mostly, a lot of them are low paying jobs that we don't want back. I mean, they have been replaced by automation. We're fucked. I mean, the Georgia Guidestones, if you're going to automate everything, we got way too many people on this planet. That's just my feeling on it. I mean, if everything's going automated, what are these people going to do for a living that have no skills?
And Henry Kissinger,
that can't work with their hands.
Henry Kissinger said it back in the 70s that it's easier to kill 1 million people than it is to feed 1 million people.
Well, it's true.
Yeah, so there is that too.
It is true.
I mean, I heard a commercial on Fox when I was on the way home today about a yogurt franchise, frozen yogurt, and the whole thing's automated. It's an automated kiosk. The whole thing is a freaking yogurt. I mean, it's a robot that serves yogurt, and it's a franchise.
Yeah. I've seen it too.
I can't remember what it's called. Froyo. Yeah. In fact, if you go to froyofranchising.com, that's where it is. But it's the first frozen yogurt robot.
Is she awesome. Pretty?
It's just
I don't know.
I don't think they've got the animatronic thing. It's just one arm actually that moves around inside this little. It looks like a video game almost. Or one of those carnival games. You pop your money in and you select your yogurt, and this fucking little robotic arm spins around. And I don't know if it makes it on the spot or if it just goes and selects your yogurt flavor and then gives it to you. I don't know how it is, but I've seen a little video. That's kind of
neat.
See, that's how they get you. See that right there. That's how they get you. That's how they get you. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that's kind of neat.
I know. I'm such a lamb.
I saw a good story yesterday. It was a trial, and I can't remember. There's a couple cities that are trying it out, but it's a air conditioned box out in front of stores. Have y'all seen this? Did you see this story?
No. Go for it.
So you pay. It's like 20 cents a minute or 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I can't remember how much it was, but it was very cheap. But instead of leaving your animal in the car, you put it in this box. And it's an air-conditioned box, and it's got Wi-Fi, so you can watch your pet while you're in the store, and it's in an air-conditioned box outside the store.
What if somebody took it?
Cheaper than a fucking car window.
Well, I mean, and you can't go to jail.
Oh,
over
yeah.
it. So, yeah, so they were showing the news story that there was like 3 or 4 of them lined up outside this supermarket or a mall, whatever it was. So people take their pets, and instead of leaving them in the car, they put them in this air-conditioned box.
Yeah,
Greatest
so then
invention I've seen all week.
You're gonna drop your.
So they're
you're
going
gonna
to put
drop your
kids in these
little.
boxes?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's what they said. They were like, "Can you leave your kid in there?"
Well, they're probably gonna drop off their schnauzer or whatever, and it's gonna become some pit bull's lunch while they're in there shopping.
No, they're single boxes.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like a kennel.
Okay.
It's like you would kennel it in your house,
I got you.
except it's air conditioned. It's a glass box and it's air conditioned.
Very cool.
I
Well,
thought
if
so.
somebody's a long shopper, hell, I wouldn't be mind sitting in there myself. How about you, Lance?
Right.
You know,
Let the dog
when I
go
used to
shopping, man.
go to
I'll
the
be in
mall-
here.
When I used to go to the mall shopping, I'd find the nearest couch and sit down and wait for my wife to shop. Now I don't have to do that shit anymore.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
but-
good.
Yeah, but she got the stellar set of tits, and you wound up with nada.
I still get to play with them.
Okay. Moving on to the next thing that we need to talk about. Besides Lance's ex-wife's titties.
$49.95.
Let me jump over here and hey, your elbow's still dirty, Kim.
Oh, is
Can't
it
believe
really?
you haven't cleaned that
Oh,
yet. Holy crap.
gross.
That's disgusting.
What was that I dipped my elbow in when I was driving today?
I think you said it was like sugar, burnt sugar or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was at the ice cream place you were telling me about.
Yes, you're very observant.
All right, here's the next story. I think everybody needs to be aware of this one, especially all my friends up in Canada. Some Ontario police vehicles are now equipped with GPS dart launchers. Batmobile-style gadgetry unveiled Friday by Ontario's provincial police will allow them to catch speeding vehicles by shooting high-tech projectiles at them. A small number of OPP vehicles, are you down with OPP? Are now equipped with GPS projecting launch systems. Brad Blair, the Deputy Commissioner of Traffic Safety, announced in the media conference, "We're very, very excited about this," Blair said in an interview. The projectiles are roughly the size of a soup can and are fired from the front grille of police vehicles. It's hit the mark. If it hits the mark, the projectile will attach to the targeted vehicle. At that point, police can GPS signal will be sent back to OPP Communications Center, allowing the vehicle to be tracked remotely and avoid the need for risky high-speed chases.
Man, I saw stories on that 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Have you really?
Yeah,
In the States. They've had that in the States for or they were working on it.
I don't think I've ever seen it deployed anywhere. I've never even heard of it being
Maybe
used.
not, but I've seen that technology on that
I
it
think
was
it was
coming.
all, yeah, that
Good
they
to
were
know.
trying to develop it or whatever. This
Yeah,
might be,
maybe
this
that's
might
what
be
it
their
was. So
test
good to
bed.
know it's in play now.
Yeah.
that was
Blair-
on 007.
Yeah. Yeah. Blair said the new tool will help reduce the risk to both members of the public and police officers. Specially trained officers are able to aim and fire the projectiles using an onboard control panel. Let's see. Similar technology was unveiled by police in Delta, British Columbia earlier this year. OPP said it's the first in Ontario. 3 vehicles have been equipped with the technology so far. Gee, let's hope they're all in front of the pursuant. Police said last year 307 people were killed on provincial roads. It's incumbent upon us to look at our new technologies and new ways of doing business in terms of keeping our roads safe. You notice how I threw in there it was doing business. All righty. So watch out. Don't stand in front of that motherfucker. You know? Liable to get a soup can in the crotch. All right. Anybody comment on that? Any?
No, I remember seeing that because it would eliminate high-speed chases. They get up close to it.
I
They have to
remember.
be within 30 feet or so. I remember seeing
I remember
a couple
CHP
years ago. I remember seeing video on that.
I remember CHP had this little skateboard-looking thing that they could shoot out from the front of their car that would roll down the highway at a super high rate of speed and go underneath yours, and it had this copper antenna thing off the back of it, right? And as it touched the frame of your car, it would throw out an electrical impulse and short out all your driving systems and shut the car down. I remember seeing that.
Yeah,
They can do that from a helicopter now.
Yeah, I remember seeing the wheel sling too. You know that they had that they run
I
up to
just-
behind it and it
I just
attach
would
around the
never
wheel
run.
and stop the car.
I just would never run. I mean, I could not imagine putting myself in a position where I would be running from a police officer. That would be crazy.
Well, how the hell are
I
they going
hate
to hit
that
him?
they have all those license plate readers on their cars around here.
Right.
They drive through a parking lot, and this machine on the trunk of their car reads every license plate. And when it
Why?
finds an
Why did
expired
they do
one,
that?
well, when it finds an expired one, there's your ticket. You end up with a ticket on your windshield. It's money.
Oh, well, that's not fair because you should be able to slide by if they don't see it. That makes it totally impossible for the human.
It's
to make
100%
revenue generation.
impossible. They drive through a parking lot and let that thing scan license plates now.
Yeah, there used to be a show on TV on one of the cable channels where they would boot people's cars and shit. I think it was like Philly in Philadelphia or something like that.
Oh, I saw that with
Yeah.
the yellow.
Yeah, they had that little van and had all the little cameras on it and shit. And they'd drive through and read license plates, and then all of a sudden their computer go bing bong,
They make-
and they'd be like, "Whoa,
They
whoa,
make
whoa, we
so
got
much
one."
money.
Yeah. So
Yep.
doing
Overdue
that
parking
forever.
fines.
yeah, they just boot the
you know,
car and
parking
shit.
tickets.
What a
Yep.
scam.
Yep. The revenue generation, man. And all these towns that are doing it are all broke. They're still broke.
Yeah, I mean, they're taking it from people that are not going to be able to pay for their groceries and stuff. I mean, they're just like
Right,
tapping people dry.
right.
I mean, I know all about it. I'm that girl too. It's okay, I
Okay.
still manage.
What's the next story that we're going to do here? Oh, this is just priceless, man. This is out of RT. I read this one and tweeted this out this morning. Hey, somebody's R2D2's going off.
Yeah, that was.
No,
that was
I heard that.
yeah, that's my Star Wars Commander game.
Cool.
Yeah, I like that green shirt you got on there, Lance.
The what?
That green shirt you got on there. Can you see me?
Oh yeah, that's a good color.
That's my chartreuse hunting thing out in the woods.
Yeah, that's so none of his friends shoot him in the ass.
Jimmy and I
Damn
both
right.
have the same color shirt on. We're into black.
Black. Okay,
And
here's the story out of Port Pierce. White supremacist teen converts to Islam and kills his neo-Nazi roommates for insulting his faith.
I heard this one.
White supremacist who converted to Islam killed his two neo-Nazi roommates because they had offended his new faith. Local media reported, citing police, who also found bomb-making materials, radioactive substances, and Nazi propaganda at the crime scene. The incident came to light on Friday when a man identified as Devin Arthurs, 18, led police on two deceased men in a Tampa, Florida hotel room, or I guess it's their apartments. Excuse me.
How horrible.
Monday, however, police disclosed new details about what had initially been thought to be a common homicide. It appears that Arthur is a former white supremacist who converted to Islam. That right there is just funny. I'm sorry. I mean, I know I've got a little dark sense of humor, but that's just funny. Okay.
Well, as long as they catch the mosque he was hanging out at,
Yeah.
and take them in for corrupting the young man's mind.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a white supremacist, then he become a Muslim, then he starts killing people. What the hell's wrong with that?
Right.
That ain't right.
The suspect was arrested after holding people at gunpoint at a local Green Planet smoke shop, the AP and local media said. During the arrest, Arthurs made reference to Allah Muhammad, adding that there were
Of
people
course he did.
in the apartment, but they aren't hurt. They're dead.
I didn't know there was an Allah Muhammad.
Yeah. The teen told police that he had shot his two roommates, Jeremy Himmelman, 22, and Andrew Wanashuk, 18, because they had displayed disrespect for his new faith. I had to do it, he said, according to the police report. This wouldn't have had to happen if your country didn't bomb my country. What? You're a squeaky-faced little white kid.
Yeah, you've got black hair and black eyes.
Right.
That's the indoctrination part of it. That's what's so scary about this.
Yeah.
This is an ideology. This is not
I
just
know.
a religion.
Oh, I know. The suspect said that
I
before
know.
committing the murder, he had been privy to neo-Nazi internet sites threatening to kill people, and he had developed a thinking that he should take some of the neo-Nazis with him. Fourth roommate reportedly arrested for storing explosives and radioactive materials. When officers arrived at this crime scene on Friday, they found a fourth roommate identified as Brandon Russell, who happened on the murdered roommates when he returned home from his job at the Florida National Guard. I love it.
Amazing.
Florida
When-
National Guard.
When he
Oh,
returned home from his job at the Florida National Guard.
who
when
is
I-
he going to blow up next? Building these bombs.
Right.
Lola, stop.
Right. Okay, during a search of the apartment, police found radioactive substances, which they don't describe other than that, bomb-making materials, and Nazi propaganda literature. The police and FBI said in their report, adding that they arrested Russell on charges of unlawful storage of explosive materials. The material known as HMTD is a high explosive organic compound, reported Tampa Bay, the newspaper, which saw a criminal complaint filed in U.S. District Court. Russell later admitted to the neo-Nazi beliefs, saying he was a member of the Atomwaffen group, which is Germanic for atomic weapon. The fourth roommate said the explosives came from an engineering club he had been a part of at the University of South Florida in 2013, explaining that he used the materials to make homemade rockets. Based on my training and experience, HMTD is too energetic and volatile for these types of uses, FBI Special Agent Timothy Swanson wrote in his complaint. In his bedroom, Russell kept a framed photo of Timothy McVeigh. Please. Domestic terrorist. Okay.
Propaganda.
Whoop, whoop.
Total bullshit. Such
You
bullshit.
you just don't know what to believe anymore, man. You know, when you go through all this,
No,
you just
that I
know what to
don't believe that.
No.
Well, little
And-
Kim needs to hire that kid when he bails him out.
Yeah, we are on camera Skype, just a couple of us. It's, I mean, you know, Kim likes to watch the show and she couldn't do it on her phone. So she wanted to see.
So I just love the
Everything
fact that this little Kim guy over in North Korea has my name.
Yeah. Kim Jong-un. Actually, Kim is their last name. Jong-un is, and Jong-il is their first name. That's just the way they pronounce it over there. They are the Kim clan. I think it's actually spelled K-Y-M, if I'm not mistaken.
Good.
I'm not sure.
Good,
There is
I
a
hope
crisis down in the Philippines. Duterte claims declared martial law in Mindanao. Said that there's ISIS-linked people down there going through the town, just wreaking havoc. So Duterte has declared martial law in Mindanao. I think that might be pretty serious, kind of. Let's see. There's one out of Zero Hedge. I love Zero Hedge. You guys know all that. Biggest subprime auto lender skipped income verification on 92% of their auto loans. You guys know what a Ninja loan is? They used to do that for housing. Ninja, no income, no job.
No, I've never heard of that before. Is that real or are you being facetious?
No, that's true, isn't it, Lance? You know about Ninja.
Well, it's called a NINA, no income, no assets. They had SISAs, stated income, stated assets. So yeah, they don't exist anymore
take your
for
word for it.
mortgages. But if you've got a 660, 680 credit score or higher, there's hardly any car places that will ask for a pay stub anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here.
I guess.
Here we
Everybody
go.
run out and buy a Hellcat.
Yeah,
God.
no shit, man. If you can get it for nothing, I mean, you ain't got to tell them where are you working. None of your fucking business, dude. Just give me the loan. Okay. We first introduced readers to the new century of auto finance, aka Santander Consumers USA, several years ago when we first took note of their aggressive auto ABS facilities. In fact,
That's
there's
Capital One.
Okay, Capital One.
No, it's good. Santander.
Santander.
But Capital One is the one that they're the ones that got into trouble for all the bad loans.
Oh.
So they just changed their name to Santander.
Oh, great. I have a loan through Santander for my daughter. Great.
Uh-huh.
Whoops. Let's see. Their aggressive auto ABS facilities. In fact, there's a quick look at some of their ABS deals from 2015, which sported an average FICO of 595, LTV of 110%, and APR of 16.2. Sorry, that caught me off guard. And a term of 70 months. 16%. 70 months. It says 70 months right here. I'm looking at the fucking article, man. It'll correct me on it.
Well, I know they do 72 months.
Yeah.
Now, boys.
I know
We
I'm
do
just
them.
fucking
I mean,
with
we
you.
love them for 72 months or 84.
But this is for cars.
If it's
This is
over
for cars.
$18,000.
Yeah, this is for cars. And
So
if that
that's
isn't
what I'm
enough,
talking about, cars.
if that isn't enough evidence to convince you that today's auto sales are nothing more than another subprime debt-fueled bubble, then perhaps you should also take note of today's Bloomberg article that highlights the fact that Santander USA apparently only took the time to verify income on 8% of the loans they dumped into ABS facilities and sold off pension and insurance companies. 8%.
That's what they did in the mortgage and during the heyday of the mortgage.
Let's see. Santander's consumer treasurer, Andrew Kang, acknowledged the minimal level of income verification and said the company's practice has been consistent over time, and if it's lower than levels reported among competitors. Ain't that make you a good fella? Meanwhile, as we point out last week, the UBS hints at rampant auto lending fraud. It's not just smoke and mirrors anymore. That's their article that they wrote back last week. This news comes just as there is growing concern among auto ABS investors that consumer auto dealers and or banks have been going beyond simply relaxing underwriting standards and have instead been forced to commit outright fraud in order to attract the incremental auto volume growth. As UBS strategist Matthew Mish told Bloomberg, something is definitely going on under the hood, and it's not just smoke and mirrors anymore. There is an 80-month supply of cars sitting on lots right now as we speak in the United States. They have
Wow,
a
that's
glut.
a lot of
Yes,
cars.
yes, that's 8 years worth of cars sitting, and you can
And that's
bet,
new cars, isn't it?
Yeah, you can bet
Yeah, that's new cars.
those things are going to wind up in a shredder and never have a mile put on them.
Or they'll end up
Terrible.
over in Egypt, all the
Yeah,
trucks
selling to the
over in
Saudis.
Iraq.
Yeah. Oh yeah, ISIS will be using them for their little car bombs and stuff.
Remember all the 76 Caprice Classic 4-doors that went the Arabic countries? I thought that was so funny. I never seen so many white Chevrolet Caprices in my life.
What about the guy that had the Mark I that sold the Mark I plumbing truck on a trade-in or whatever, and it turned up to be show up over there on all kinds of videotape with a 50 caliber mounted or a 30 caliber mounted in the back of it? Just
They had a
ridiculous,
gun
dude.
in the back of it? Is that
Yeah.
what you just said?
Yeah, said Mark I plumbing on the door still.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was over there. Al Qaeda was up in Iraq back when we were fighting the war. over there.
Great.
Yeah. All right.
Just
The Dakota
wonderful.
Access Pipeline has sprung 2 more oil leaks over the last couple of days, everybody. That's just, hey, Dakota Access. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sure this.
Is that the one that doesn't have any oil in it yet?
Oh, no, it's charged up to where they're setting valves and stuff. They're trying to adjust all the valve leakage and all that shit. So it's all put together, evidently. I mean, every last weld's been done as good as they can do it anyway because it's leaking all over. The cops involved in the Freddie Gray death are to face internal police charges, it says. 3 Baltimore police officers who were involved in the 2015 arrest that led to the death of Freddie Gray faced termination and 2 other brief suspension. Or let me see here. Let me pull this whole article up. Termination and 2 other brief suspensions, according to a new report. No officers involved in Gray's death have been convicted. Not yet, anyway. Those facing internal charges and 2 who may be fired include Baltimore Police Department Officer Caesar Goodson, Sergeant Alicia White, and Lieutenant Brian Rice, the highest-ranking officer involved in Gray's death. Officers Edward Nero and Garrett Miller may be suspended for 5 days without pay. 5 days. 5 days. Wasn't Garrett Miller the one that choked him to death? I'm not sure.
Wasn't
which one.
what?
I'm not sure which one choked him to death, but one of those
What was the
guys.
question, Jimmy?
I thought Garrett Miller was the cop that choked Freddie Gray to death. I'm not sure exactly which one was, but
Sure.
the potential charges stem from an investigation into the case by the police departments in nearby Montgomery and Howard counties, which were asked by the Baltimore PD to conduct a probe. The counties gave the city their report on May 12th. The Sun reported, but it has not been released to the public. The internal charges are based on whether the officers were found to have broken department rules. A police spokesman would not comment as to the Sun about the charges, while the officers could not be reached for comment.
Oh my goodness.
So that's
Well,
the
see,
guy.
there I go. All I have to do is make myself a federal officer when I take over presidency. Then I can shoot my damn 245s and wipe up people out.
There you go.
And nobody will bother me because
Right.
I'm a cop.
Right. Oh, all that other stuff I talked about on the last show. So, damn. Still got 20 minutes to fill. What do you guys want to talk about now?
Well, they've been talking quite a bit. I just follow the X22 report, and I know they do repeat the same things, but it just seems to be getting pretty hot out there on the global economic crises things going on. They were talking about Greece.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about Italy and also Germany.
Yeah, I've been talking about them for over a year now, though.
I know,
they
but
just keep dragging
I mean,
shit
they
out
give
and
like
dragging
those.
shit out.
It's almost like a daily update, and I cannot believe that it's amazing what they're saying is going to happen. Wrapping my mind around it is, I've done the best I can, and
Ricky said Chinese steel doesn't leak. It's safe when it comes to reference to Dakota Access. Yeah. It's probably
I heard they're going to sell some green acreage down there in Antarctica.
that's probably got some
those
911.
It's all turning green.
I'll bet that's got some 911 steel in it. You know, it all went over there to be reclaimed.
hey, we sold all that steel from the World Trade Center immediately
That's
over
what I said.
that first 3 months back to China. Do you think any of that West Coast or whatever the pipeline is made out of the steel that came over from us, because it's coming from China? They had plenty of time to turn that into pipeline.
That's what I just
Wouldn't
said.
that just be
That's what I just
awful?
said. I'll bet it's got some 911 steel in it.
Oh,
Or
did I just
thermite.
reiterate what you just said?
Yeah, but that's okay.
Like as if it was my own thought.
Yeah, but that's okay because you're high.
Thanks, Jimmy.
All right. Vaughn, you got any other stories over there you want to touch base on, man? We still got time. Talk.
Yeah, who's interested in some green land down there in Antarctica? Apparently, it's all turning green. Ice is melting. Hell,
Really?
it might be the place to go. Ain't nobody else there.
Last I heard, man, they had like the largest snowpack on the planet. You know, I mean, last summer down there, the ships were getting stuck in the ice, and it was kind of
Well,
like,
actually, Vaughn's right. Jimmy, when Krill went down there from Russia, right when he went to see the Pope down in Cuba, and then he went the next day through all those different flights and stuff to get to Antarctica, he was talking about how it was a blessed land and how it was a perfect place. He was talking about a specific area that was not covered in ice that was beautiful
yeah.
in Antarctica last year.
That was last year.
Vaughn's right.
That was last year. I didn't know it was. I haven't seen anything on it turning green.
No, there's
I
a
missed that
beautiful-
story.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
There's photos on right now, videos about it. But the weather is a big thing. We just got rain again. I think we got about a half inch of rain today. Hotter than hell on the East Coast. Crazy weather all over the country. You know, it's all due to the fact that they're spraying, but nobody will admit to it. You know, nobody will put the clamp on it. Trump said he was going to do something about it. He said he flew all the time, and he was going to say something, but we all know he lies.
Yeah.
He's like that old song from the 70s, liars to the left of me and
Jokers
liars
to
to
the
the
right.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
He's got him everywhere. I'd be scared shitless if I were him.
He probably is. That's probably why he's kissing Saudi ass and bending over and taking the medal.
I
And,
would be so scared. I'd want out.
yeah. You saw the picture of him and Netanyahu, and Netanyahu's right in his ear, probably going, bomb Iran, bomb Iran, bomb Iran, bomb Iran.
Sickening.
So, yeah. It's the same
He's
game,
in
though, man.
over
It's
his
nothing.
head.
There's nothing different between Trump and Obama except the color of their skin and age.
Well, when he met with Kissinger twice, I was following that the whole time.
Twice.
Just
7
anything
times?
and everything.
7 times in the first 30 days. He met with Kissinger
Yeah,
7
see, but I
times. in the
had
first...
hope. I was one of those people that had hope. I
Why?
wanted to hope that
Did you
he
believe
was
in
another
Barack
John F.
Obama?
Kennedy and maybe they wouldn't kill him.
What? John F. Kennedy?
I know, but I
Give me a
no, I was
fucking-
hoping. No, I know he's not John F. Kennedy, but I was hoping he was one of those people that was really going to stand up and maybe had just enough power to turn this train around. But I was hoping.
Negative.
I don't hope
You should have
now,
been-
but
yeah,
I
you
did
should have
have
been
it
more
at that
awake than
time.
You should have been more awake than that. Nope.
I know. Well, I've been
You
waking up
cannot-
for about 3.5 years, and this was to my chagrin, because when I woke up again and realized that this is just another face with another, the whole thing's all just a big psyop.
Yep.
It made me feel bad that I didn't have any hope anymore.
I've been saying it for a few weeks now. You cannot change a system from within the system. The only thing you can do is to start a new system and make the old system obsolete. That's the only way things are going to change. We have to ignore these fucking people and don't give them any more power until they go away.
Well, I didn't realize Kissinger was the one. I'm pretty sure it was Kissinger. I might be wrong, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you know. But I think it was Kissinger that made some big loans toward that. I think it was a library or something Trump was able to turn over in Chicago, and there were loans that were forgiven. This was back in the 80s or 90s, so there's a long history there.
I'm sure.
I'm just saying.
I'm sure. I don't know anything about that specifically, but
And I was
I'm
just
sure.
going into my delving. I was
if
delving
it's not
one time.
Kissinger, it's a Rockefeller or a Rothschild or some fucking ass white.
Yeah, it might have
So,
been Rockefeller, even. I don't know. It was definitely something that was forgiven that you and I would not have been given the same courtesy.
Hunt says it's been happening for the past 50 years. CNN.com has a story up called Europe Climate Change Antarctica Moss. So,
There it is.
yeah.
There's-
Been happening for 50 years. They just want to talk about it now to get everybody distracted and watching Antarctica instead of
Right.
watching whatever they're doing, wherever they're doing it.
there's a
actually-
Damn right.
So,
That.
Thanks, Hunt. Get a CNN shout out in there.
There's a video out right
My
now
boy
on
Wolf.
YouTube from NASA that shows NASA apparently somewhere up in the upper air, and they're photographing. And as they're photographing, they're getting a reflection back off the firmament, and all the stars and everything are lying inside that firmament. And NASA's going to have to come up and admit to the truth here pretty soon, guys. I just thought I'd throw that in there to stir
They'll
them up.
never admit it.
no,
They'll
no, they
never
won't.
admit
No,
to it.
no, they won't. No, they won't. They won't
No.
admit shit. They won't
They'll
admit shit.
throw Bill Nye out there and DeGrasse Tyson out there, and everybody will eat it up.
Yeah, I was just told by
Neil
my
the
son
ass
Christopher
out.
that Bill Nye, the science guy, just got some kind of show or something.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Bill Nye
Yeah.
Saves the
Oh.
World. It's
was like,
literally
oh.
called Bill Nye Saves the World.
yep.
Now you guys gotta remember that this guy is in
He's
no
a
way.
Zionist, by the way. Bill Nye is.
Oh yeah, he is in no
So,
way
no.
a scientist.
So is Neil.
He's
They're
never
they're
been.
Masons.
He's
Yeah,
never
he is,
been done anything college wise as far as science goes. He's nothing. He's nothing. He's just an actor.
Right.
He's just an
He's
actor.
got the same degree as BP Earthwatch.
Yeah. Not shit.
Yeah, but when
Japan.
my kids were little or when I was a teenager, I remember Bill Nye, and I used to sing that little song like Bill Nye, the science guy. Remember?
Yeah, that's how they
Oh, yeah.
brainwashed you.
I mean, I didn't know anything.
They
Basic
brainwashed you.
science.
No, I never sang them gay songs. I'm sorry, Kim.
Is Heinz K a descendant of Jabba? Marx is asking. Oh, let's see. Lichens and moss are coming out of the ice as they do every year, Hunt says. Okay. I'm out of Twitter stuff, and we still got like over 10
I hadn't
minutes
heard
to
that
go.
one.
What?
Well,
I'm gonna have to read that story about Antarctica. I'm copying it.
Yeah, okay. Go for it, man.
I didn't see anything on Antarctica recently. I haven't looked.
I really
Trying
don't.
to plug this phone in before it dies.
You're only gonna get what they want you to see.
They don't, they're not telling the truth about it anyway, man. The Earth's flat.
There, I plugged you in.
The Earth is flat.
Can you imagine where we would be right now if the internet never got invented and we weren't talking like this and we still only had the TV and newspapers?
We'd all be asleep.
We still, I mean, most of us are, but could you imagine how none of us would have the knowledge that we do
No.
if the internet didn't exist?
Nope.
It's true.
Because we've talked about them running scared before, and it just hit me. I mean, when you guys were talking last week about, the TV was invented for a control purpose, and it's true. I mean, newspapers invented for a control purpose, because if they tell you what to think, you're going to think it.
Right.
And they can't tell us what to think anymore. It
Lance,
blows my mind.
I
So now
tweeted.
that you've said that, do you think this just got out of hand and it got out of hand for them because they let this happen?
I don't know that they ever thought that it would explode the way that it did. That we'd have. I think they thought they could keep control of it. And
They underestimated the cow's intelligence. All the
that's what I think. I don't
Genie
think they
said-
knew what they were getting into when it got let out. But then look at Bill Gates. I mean, he was kind of the inventor of it, a big part of it. And we all know he's deep in the elite. So,
Jeannie said,
I mean, it started out as a control another form of control, and they lost control. They still got control of the TV. They still got control of the newspapers. Still got control of
they're getting control back
everything
of the
but
web.
the internet.
They're getting control back of the web because they're cutting a lot of people's YouTube channels off and stuff.
A
that are trying to
lot,
speak
and
the truth.
they're really cracking down.
Yep. Jeannie said we'd
And
all be out
Jeannie
actually
said
living
it.
our
Jeannie
lives.
said it absolutely perfect.
Yep.
We'd all be out there living our lives, hanging out outside, growing gardens, coming
well,
home when the street lights come on. Yep, that's the kind of shit we'd be doing again.
Yep.
We'd be like Cleaver. Would be pretty hard on the beaver, and they couldn't put up with any more population. So
That's right.
it's become depopulation.
Right.
I miss the old days.
I texted Kim.
Be outside kicking a can and talking to the neighbors. That's for damn sure.
I texted Kim yesterday or the day before. We were born into a lie, and it just got bigger. It's just as simple as that. We were born into this lie because we didn't know about it from the very beginning. So it's always been our reality until we become awake to it. We were born
Yeah.
into a lie.
Can you imagine
and it just
how
got bigger
how-
and bigger and
I mean,
bigger.
everybody as a kid had to look up at the damn moon because the full moon, and realize that some bitch never changed, never damn changed, and it looks like you could touch it at times because it was, when it was really dark. If you're out in the dark spot with a gal, and the sun was never that far away because it always was hot. That's when it blows my damn mind. How the hell can a sun be that millions of miles away and all that space be cold, and then as soon as it gets to Earth, it gets hot? Is that Jew magic? Is that what it is? Jew magic?
Yeah.
Damn it.
There's we were also talking the other day about Earth, about us being on Earth, and it tells us, how simple it is. It's been right in front of our faces all the time. People that are Christians or anybody that's read the Bible, the answer's been right in front of you the whole time you were reading the Bible. The Earth is hell. It is hell.
I've said that for many years.
I know, we've been thinking it for years and years and years.
I
But
have,
it tells
and
us
then
right
when
in
you
the Bible.
die, you can get a chance to go to heaven.
Well, yeah, but it's right in front of your face in the Bible. It tells you that Satan is in charge of the earth for a time. God gave it to him for a time. So if Satan's in charge of it, what does that make it? That makes it hell.
I did a
It
video.
does.
Just that
I
simple.
did a
And look
video,
around at all the evil.
Yep.
a video on
I
that 2 years,
know.
and I don't think anybody got that video when I said that.
Yep.
I says, who the hell do you think controls this earth but Satan and his demons? I says, you are living in hell.
It tells
Wait,
you
No,
that
I
in the
think
Bible.
I did see that little video, Vaughn. I think I saw
Been
it. Was
saying
that a
it for
recent
years.
one, like in the last
Yep.
8 weeks or whatever?
Yep.
Yeah, well, I did one a couple years ago too. You
Oh,
got to remember, I've been beating
I
this
think you
drum.
said that.
That was back before I cussed a lot. Okay,
Yeah.
now I don't give a shit because of hell. I know I'm in hell. I'm just waiting to get the hell out.
How old are you, Vaughn?
Yeah, I'm ready.
How old are you, Vaughn?
68 years old.
68. Yeah, you've seen almost a generation more than the rest of us.
And I'm gonna tell you what, I moved that building, that metal building, built a skid, moved it, and put a garden in such a short period of time. Half of these assholes behind a computer right now ass out to do half of what I did in 5 days or a week or more.
Yeah.
In this short period of time, because they ain't got no get up and go. That's the problem, or they don't got the savvy. They've never been taught. They never listened to their parents, and never had parents to show them any damn thing. And that's the sad world we're in. How are they going to survive? I mean, who's going to take care of me when I get old? Nobody, because I'm going to have to take care of my damn self like I've been doing.
I don't. Yeah.
Kids, I feel sorry for them. I really do.
I look at what I'm doing for my mom, and you know, if I live to be her age, there's nobody to take care of me. I ain't got no kids. I ain't got nope. Nobody's gonna be around to take care of me.
You got full respect for me for what you're doing, Jimmy. Believe me.
I appreciate it, man. But that's you know, I don't know why people get so worked up over it. You know, this is what families are supposed to do for families. And when all of a sudden did it become something you know, heroic to take care of your family when they got old? When did that happen? Huh?
That's the way it was forever.
Yeah.
I mean
there used to be
house, you had several other houses, but the farm
there used to be 3-4 generations living in one house.
Yes.
When the family grew bigger, they built on, and they all stayed there.
Well, I mean, Americans still I'm not going to say most. A lot of cultures around the world still do that to this day.
Yep. The Japanese.
Oh, the Indians. I mean, everybody in the Middle East, the Indians. I mean, all of them. They have their families living with them.
Yep.
Forever.
Yep. Family house, family land. You know, they keep all their wealth in the family. When they buy gifts, they buy gold and give it to their families and stuff. You know, stuff that's going to be heirloom shit. You know.
That's right. That's why those families are so strong and bound together.
And bonded.
You know, look at the Bundys. Look at the Bundys and the rest of them people. You know, all that was given through generations and held together by the family. You know, I mean, that's exactly what they've taken away from the American culture.
And they'll die for each other. You know?
Yes.
They'll die for each other. And you look at most of the Americans around here, you know, they don't. If the parent becomes a pain in the ass, it's off to the fucking nursing home, man. Sorry, can't deal with it anymore. I got a life to live. I got things I got to do.
You're actually 100% right. I actually had.
They wiped your ass for years and years and years. You know, they wiped your ass for years. They fed you. They made sure you were brought up right. They made sure you were educated. They made sure that you had clothes to go to school, and you're just gonna fucking shuffle them off to a house and
crazy.
I'm not saying anything. You know, my grandmother, my mom's mom, had to go to a nursing home for a while before she died, but I'm just not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that.
And if you're in a position to take care of that family member, then by all means do so, because their dignity is so much better at home.
Yep. I had to put her in one for a little while. You guys know she was in Flippos for a little while because I was trying to get my act together here. This is a brand new place for me, and I was trying to get the house finished and the shed finished and the yard finished and try to establish a couple of half-assed businesses down here and stuff like that. But when it was time for her to come back here, she came back here. And she's going to be here until the end. So it's not a burden. You know, I appreciate all your kudos. Everybody, I appreciate all your kudos, man. It makes me feel good. But I'm not doing anything I don't think any one of you guys would do to.
Right,
well,
Jim.
She says she love you. Shit's worth it.
It's part of your day. It's part of your day, Jim.
Yep.
It's like your dogs. You feed your dogs. You take care of your mom. It's once you start doing it, it's a routine. It does not fucking matter.
Yep. It's family.
Most people treat their animals better in the older ages.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
That's the sad truth.
True.
That's the sad truth.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We still got a couple minutes. Anything, anybody got any kind of A1 information they want to get out real quick? And guys, man, watch that Bitcoin, boy. That shit's going through the motherfucking roof. I think it's up around $2,400. Last I checked, it was anyway. That was way early this morning.
God, I hope this doesn't happen before this wedding.
Man.
Damn, I just want everything to stay I just want those memories to be made, you know.
All right,
I
Trump.
hope nothing
Listen
happens
up, Trump.
before then.
Listen up, Trump. Nothing before October, right?
Right.
September's got to come and
Well,
go.
let's get through September.
Yeah, September's
You
got to come and go.
Bitcoin.
Do I have any?
My suggestion: if you got bitcoins, cash them bitches in now.
No, I don't have any. I can tell you right now that it's up. Just from the beginning of this year, it's up 500%, I think, or 100% or something. That's doubled in price since the beginning of this year. Ethereum is up 67,000% since it's open.
Wow.
I think it opened at a few cents per Ethereum coin, and it's way up over. It's close to $200. I think it was tickling $200.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, some people are getting filthy rich.
Yeah,
And
but
this
you would
is-
have had to have gotten
this is
into it
the-
in the beginning to get filthy rich.
Right, but this is the public's way of telling these governments that your fiat currencies
You're right.
can be done away with. Just that,
You're
just that
absolute-
simple.
They have, they have
The only-
confidence in the Bitcoin and that kind of
Because
currency,
it's-
but they don't in the dollar.
Yeah, Bitcoin is an open blockchain that anybody can check, and you could, so long as you're able to do the mathematics, you can follow it from its inception. You can't rig that shit.
Right.
You just can't. But they have the keys to the electronics, and they can turn those electronics off anytime they want, and then that Bitcoin is fucking worthless.
I know. That's exactly when this crash happens, and I think that thing they call the dead cat bounce. I think that happened already. I think the dead cat bounce already happened, or it
Yeah.
was the beginning of
They
another one.
struggled today to get it back over
This
21,000. They struggled today to get it back over 21,000. And the whole time they were struggling to get it up there, gold was not rocketing up, but gold was going up, and silver made it back over $17 and stayed there after the close. So, yeah, I think, they're scratching at the fucking walls of the pit now. They can't get any more purchase.
September's looking
we'll see.
like further and further away. I just want everything to stay together till September. At least let us make our memories, and
We'll
then
see.
let's see what fucking happens.
The WebBot, I'm waiting for the new WebBot report to come out. It's going to be out in a couple days. The WebBot said that this summer was going to be rough, and we're
I know.
just getting into summer.
Starting July, you follow Jason.
Yeah,
He
starting
jumps on that
June.
WebBot.
Starting in June is when Cliff said that things were going to start going tits up. So everybody, hang on, man. We've
Well,
been saying
that's
it for
not
years.
okay
though.
with me. We need to hold out till September.
Well,
Everybody
hey,
put up
man,
a
I'm
prayer.
doing what I can. I'm doing what I can.
Yeah, no, we'll just follow. Jay Snip will be all over the WebBot thing, and
Yep.
he always makes it very enjoyable. So let's follow him as well.
Right.
Always
All
give
right,
a
Kim.
little kudos.
We made it through another
Good
one,
to see you,
by
Jim.
God.
Good to see you, Lance. Good to see you, Jim. I know you're going to be getting ready to close out.
Hey, I appreciate you coming
letting
on,
me
Vaughn.
down here.
Yeah, David, if you're listening, brother, I hope you're feeling better, man. I hope you
Yeah,
can get on
Dave.
top of this shit because I miss you now, brother. It's been a week since you've been on, so
I agree.
I'm definitely missing you. Hope I get to see you on Saturday. Get yourself out in some sunshine and feel better, brother. Kim, thanks for coming on. I appreciate you as always. You throwing out those couple stories was kind of
You're welcome.
kind of helpful. Absolutely. Lance, the beard looking good, brother. The beard's looking good. You
Hi,
might
Lance.
you might have
beard.
to you might have to get rid of
I'm-
Jimmy's
I'm
gay
not
lover
shaving
and
it.
put your
I'm
new
not shaving it again.
put
I'm
your new
never
video.
shaving it again.
Right on, man. That's good. I think I'm going to be shaving mine because it's a little uncomfortable when I try to sleep. So I'm going to keep myself all primped up. Anyway,
Well, you don't have to work hard.
that's true. Neither does Lance. With all that being said, everybody, we will see you on Saturday.
Peace and love.
Love, peace,
Bye.
and cookies.